is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ring the Bell Phillies show, brought to you by SeatGeek. We are live streaming here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, or X. It'll always just be Twitter to me. It's just ingrained in my head. But if you are on YouTube, like, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell so you can get notifications for whenever we do this each and every week. I'll tell you guys that my mood going into this is significantly different after the fact that we were able to salvage this series today, getting a really good win Sunday afternoon here on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to everybody who is joining or who will be watching or listening via video or audio version. Jay, I'm going to start with you. You were there this afternoon inside Citizens Bank Park, man. First off, how you doing? Secondly, what was the mood after the Ozzy Albies home run in the first inning in that stadium? Was it like, oh, great, this is here we go again?
Well, first off, I'm hot. My face is still on fire. It was really like, man, it was yesterday and then again today. You know, yesterday he does it from the left side. Today he goes ahead and does it from the right side.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what? Like, it's just throw a pitch at this guy, please. Somebody just hit him. But it's after yesterday, like after Nola, it's like here we go again.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, yesterday we dug out of it, and then Schwarber, like, right away hits that home run, and you're feeling okay, maybe we're gonna have that like we did yesterday, but. That you got to give it to them. They battled back today. They, it could have been a game with Harper out of the lineup, with Stott out of the lineup. You just kind of like, okay, like someone even said, we're throwing it away. Maybe two of us said we're throwing it away, but they went out, they battled, they played all 9 innings, and they really needed all 9 innings with the way that bullpen's been looking. It's definitely not the best bullpen in baseball through the first 3 games. But it was nice, especially with that Rojas play. I think that Rojas play really changed the mood. A lot of people were getting up, really going to the exits.
Wow.
And then some things kind of, you hear some stuff, you see everybody's kind of standing around, you're not sure, and then he's safe, and then bing, bang, boom, you got the lead. They got just enough. So it was, it was nice. It was great being there 2 of the 3 games. It was packed all weekend.
Yeah.
It was great to see the energy.
For sure. Now, before we delve deeper into Sunday's win, it was a 5-4 win. The Phillies out-hit the Atlanta Braves as if that could ever happen. The Phillies out-hit the Braves 9-7. But I kind of want to backtrack because this is what the Sunday show is for. It's not just talking about, what happened Sunday. We don't have to talk about opening day because we did a pre- and post-game show there. Thank you, John, for joining me on that post-game show. Saturday, man, it's just terrible deja vu. And it starts with the new $162 million man, Aaron Nola. We thought, all right, Wheeler shut them down. What looked very easily on during opening day on Friday. And it just seems like up until Sunday, once Zach Wheeler stopped pitching on Friday, the Braves just kind of decided to score 21 runs. And it was embarrassing to watch Aaron Nola pitch. I think he's an embarrassment to watch so often. 4 1/3 innings, 12 hits, a career high, giving up 12 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He gave up, balls that haven't even landed yet. Outside of Citizens Bank Park.
Keep him in that long.
I'm going to ask you, John, what were your thoughts on Saturday? And, I kind of want to hand this over to you because I know you have a lot to say about this topic. What was your thoughts on manager Rob Thompson over the weekend? The floor is yours on this one.
He lost the first 2 games, clearly. It just, with the bullpen decisions, he brings in Shaw in when it was Hoffman. I mean, Hoffman came out again today and proved that this is his role and this is what he's going to do, and he's going to dominate. And he pitched great again today. Why wasn't he the first option there? Why was it Strahm? And then why is obviously Noah doesn't have it after 2 innings? Why is he still in there? he had 12 hits and 8 runs. Like,
The
why?
one thing I agree with you there, but it
For
this looking hindsight, the bullpen gave up like
Yeah.
another.
Yeah,
Like even if they pull him earlier, like I'm 100% with you. I agree he should have been pulled much earlier. But at that point, it's like, I don't know how much the
but
bullpen changes outside
my
of giving
thing
up a
goes
ton
back
of
to this
runs
too,
there.
because he's a guy who continues says that the first 2 weeks are so important because this is when everybody gets hurt. So
Yeah.
obviously Nola doesn't have it. So if that's your philosophy, and why that's the reason why Harper was a scheduled day off today. Why is and Stott's
Well,
going to get
that's
a
what
day?
Topper
Like,
says.
yeah, and then why is you gonna keep Nola out there to get him hurt? He obviously doesn't have it. Like, if it's so important that maybe you don't want to hurt this guy for the long term because he's throwing a lot of pitches each inning, that's when most of the damage is done to your arm when you have those long innings.
Yeah.
But he's just I don't know. And this morning, thank God they won today because if they didn't, it was going to be like he almost just gave up today with the lineup he was putting out because a lot of his the idea is how Marsh can't hit lefty. Stott, it's a tough lefty day for Stott, so we're not going to set him out there. Well, it's not a tough day for Schwarber too. He's lefty. It's a tough lefty, so we're going to take the best player on our team out of the lineup today for a scheduled day off because it's back-to-back lefties.
Two of them.
Like, yeah,
Two
two of
players
them.
out of the lineup.
And then when I look at it even more into it, I'm thinking about wouldn't you want a lot of at bats against these pitchers because aren't these the same guys you're going to face in the playoffs? So
Yeah.
why would you take away at bats against them? Because you want to understand how they're pitching to you, and maybe you can capitalize on that at a later date. So why would you?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me at all.
So, Jay, I'm going to go to you. It was very clear. I mean, just to let everybody know, I mean, I was grilling filet mignon on the grill when Jason calls me. He said it was an accident. I don't think it was. But he calls me and he starts, talking. And you start literally, Jay. I mean, to be frank, you're yelling on the phone saying, why is Nola still in this game?
It was one of those things because looking at it now, like, yes, it doesn't matter. But in the moment, you said in our one show, the last show, we're here, you want us to beat the Braves.
Yeah.
And to beat the Braves of the division. And you're playing the Braves, and they took their pitcher out in the first inning.
Yeah.
Who looked bad.
Yep.
So Snitker's managing to win that game.
Yeah,
it
for
felt
sure.
Like it felt like one of those things where
today's
Nola
just not our
looked
day.
bad. We're conceding it. We used a lot of bullpen guys after Wheeler came out. We had to go through 4 or 5 bullpen guys. Maybe let's try to save some arms and hope Nola works his way out of it when you can clearly see he's not. They're hitting everything he's throwing over the plate. So it felt like in that moment, to me, and I even said it, that this is why we're not going to beat the Braves because we don't manage to win every game. That's the Braves were out managing us that game. And that's where in that moment, okay, I know everybody can talk postseason. You heard it today. I could hear it between the fans because some Atlanta guys are there. It's play post. I get it. I even said it, but you still want to win each game. There's nothing worse than them coming in here and smacking you in the face and sweeping you the opening series. So I felt like he didn't manage that game properly. I was very upset with the way he didn't seem to be going after that where, I get we all kind of thought this could happen this series, but we are all looking towards April where it's a very easy schedule. But that could have, look at the end of the season. If you're within a game or two, that could be a huge game where you really just let Nola stay and get beat up and really got yourself hit out of the game early on through the first 3 innings.
And I'm going to ask you both, we were told after the Wheeler start why he came out after 89 pitches. He missed some time during spring training. I believe that the birth of his child. He didn't have really a big chance to ramp up at all, in his words, during spring training. So we get it. We get 89 pitches, 6 nearly perfect innings. The dude was absolutely spectacular. He was in ace form. Aaron Nola gets a full spring training. God, he was there before anybody down in Clearwater. I'm going to go to you, John. Like, what is up with this dude? Like, he had some good postseason starts, but he is in regular season form in start number 1. Look, as always, am I just a Nola hater? And I'm just sitting here thinking, well, his season shot after just 1 start. He's got 31, 32 more to go. But the dude just more often than not over the last 4 years does not have it. And what are we going to do here?
I don't know. Today I just got yesterday I got flashback. I wouldn't say flashbacks. It was more of I don't know what you would call it, but it's like, do we just sign our Patrick Corbin? We're just gonna give this dude a shit ton of money, and he's gonna absolutely fucking suck
Tell you
for
what,
us.
man, when you said that, I thought, wow, what that now that's the like almost a perfect comparison. And it made me have like agita for a second, thinking, oh my God, this is Patrick Corbin.
I don't know. I mean, he's never had an out pitch. He still doesn't have an out pitch. So it's
Yep.
like he gets those so many two strike counts and just can't get them out. It seems like it happens all the time. And then for some reason, the past 2 years when runners get on base, he can't do it anymore. Like, I don't know if it's the pitch clock. He can't. I don't know what it is, but he cannot pitch with people on base, and it's an era where he's not really throwing that hard. If his fastball doesn't have that run that it usually has, then it's he's not pitching as well. So it's hit or miss with him at this point. And to beat the Braves, he needs to be on all the time. Like, he needs to be the best pitcher. He needs to be the second best pitcher in the entire series. He can't just be what did we say? He's the fifth now.
So look, I mean, Jade, I'm going to go to you because you have been the resident NOLA backer, and that's fine, and it's cool. But the Phillies didn't do a big offseason move in terms of pitching because they locked in Aaron Nola for 7 years, $160 million. Where's your head at right now after start one of Nola? Because for me, it's like, Chris, it's one start. Yeah, but this looks like the same Aaron Nola I watched all last season up until the postseason. What am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to ride this out? I mean, I don't have a choice, but hypothetically speaking, am I supposed to just ride this out and maybe hopefully he turns it around a little bit?
This is the Aaron Nola career, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
this is what we get. So, you kind of going and sign him, I guess the devil is better than the devil you don't. You just you hope he can figure something out. You hope you get a couple of those, top 7 Cy Young finishes throughout the life of this contract more often than not. But you also know you're going to have to deal with, a couple seasons of that 4 ERA. And it looks like that's what it could, listen, it's one start against a team that arguably is the best team in baseball, if not the second best. So yes, it's one, but it's tough to really read into it, but this is who he's been throughout his career.
It's
so I expect him to have good games and bad games.
Yeah.
He's usually consistently good against the Braves. That's what was weird about it. I remember opening day on 2021.
It looked like they were hitting a lot of just good, like some of the pitches that when you're watching the game where he's putting them, it's like, okay, the Braves just seem like they have his number today. Like, it just looked like everything he threw over the plate, I mean, they were reading well.
You heard Kruk say multiple times when they were so you could just tell right off the bat, McCarthy and Kruk kept saying, he's hitting his spots, like wherever Real Muto is putting his glove, he's hitting those spots. So the Braves are just hitting him, like you said, Jay, but still he doesn't, like you said, John, he doesn't have an out pitch and he doesn't have anything overpowering.
Just realized it again. JT was catching. Let's see what he does with Stubbs. I need somebody like, is there like a thing out there where you can look at his splits when like somebody else besides JT's catching?
I'll have to find that. That's hard to find.
Run those numbers yourself. Yeah.
You're gonna have to. We'll have to see.
I would like to know that, because it seems like whenever he just doesn't click with JT for some reason. But even when Knapp was here, he pitched great with Knapp, and then it seems like with Stubbs behind there, he pitches better with Stubbs. And maybe it's something he just has to talk to Topper about. It's like, nothing against JT, but for some reason I click better with Stubbs.
I mean, it's tough.
You're paying the guys.
The Braves are like, guys. Braves 1 through 9.
They're all stars.
Maybe like one of the best.
The entire roster.
Maybe the best lineup in baseball. So yes, we know what Nola is, but let's not forget what the Braves are.
Yeah, let me just come on here.
Why don't we do that then? Because I think we have a pretty damn good team.
I don't think our lineup
1 through 9 is not that. I mean, before today, Rojas was 0 for 8 and could barely even swing a bat.
He still doesn't have a hit.
Yeah, so I mean, but he did change the
yes, he changed that whole
complexion of this game later on. But I'll say this, and everyone rips me in the group chat, but I will always come here and admit when I'm wrong about something. Boy, did I know it's 3 games in, but they're not going to get any. I don't think they're going to get worse. But 1 through 9, the Atlanta Braves are an all-star team.
No,
Like that.
Riley wasn't even hitting this weekend.
I know.
And they still smoked us.
It is unbelievable how that team. One, I would like to do any kind of Moneyball scene where like we send somebody from the Phillies to the Braves and be like offer their hitting instructor any amount of money humanly possible to come over here and and do that here. But yeah, before Sunday, the Braves had 21 runs against the Phillies, and just going through the Phillies lineup, like on Saturday, Schwarber 1 for 5, Trey 1 for 3, Harper went 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. JT, man, 2 for 3. He had a pretty good weekend. On Saturday, Bohm was non-existent. 0 for 4 on Saturday. Casty 1 for 3. Bryson Stott, though, Saturday, 3 hits, 3 for 4. Gets benched on Sunday. And then you get
for a guy
to
whose career's numbers are better. Every slash is completely better versus lefties. Everything's better. He's better completely than he is right-handed, which makes no sense why he gets sat for lefties.
Why I still don't understand, John. Like, can you explain to me, maybe Jason, why was Bryson Stott not in the lineup today?
Tough lefty, back-to-back days.
I said this again. I don't buy that.
I don't buy it. Yeah,
I don't buy a tough like. There has to be. I don't know that. Maybe they want to get Witt and they want to get all these other guys playing time early. Maybe it's like you said, they're benching Harper. Let's maybe get another. But it's too early in the season for that. It's
3 games.
Harper, I 100% understand. Game 3 of the season, I don't understand why we're benching.
I can understand if you wanted to get
it's 27. Come on,
Pache in there or something. I don't know. It's just weird. It was weird all around. I don't understand.
Especially with Harper not being in there. It's given yesterday's. I get it. Stott should have been in.
Yeah,
there. It was just it was weird.
So let's go into Sunday now. The Phillies did hang on for a big 5-4 win, avoiding avoiding an embarrassing sweep. And of course, Seranthony Dominguez made things interesting by allowing that one run and putting the tying and go-ahead run on the corners with 2 outs in that 8th inning. But all it took was one pitch for Gregory Soto to get Matt Olson to pop out. Thank God for that. Alvarado came in and was amazing. I mean, that's Alvarado, man. It drives me absolutely crazy. But Alvarado looked unhittable today.
When he's on, he does.
Yeah, when he's on. I mean, he was hitting corners at 99, 100 that you can't touch if you're a hitter. You just can't touch it. And it's incredible to see.
If he's last year's form, he should be the closer, no doubt. Kirkring should be the shot.
For sure. And then, after scoring 21 runs in the first 2 games, the Braves take that 2-run lead, 2 batters into this game with that Ozzie Albies home run. Ranger threw that hanging curveball to Albies. It hung up there, and he just took it out. It was over, lofted it over the wall for the second home run in as many days for Albies. But from there, boys, Ranger was lights out. He retired 11 of the next 12 batters, with 7 of them being strikeouts. 3 of them were backwards Ks. He kept the game where it was until Atlanta. They tacked on another on that. I think it was Adam Duvall with that 2-out single in the 5th, I believe. But look, this was also Chris Sale's debut with the Braves. He allowed 2 runs over 5 1/3, but he just didn't look. He looked okay. Yeah,
he looks solid. Knowing what he's been, he looks solid.
He did what him and Ranger both did what a number 3 should do today. You give up 2 to 4 runs. They hope the offense shows up that day. They both did that. Ranger pitched unbelievable.
Ranger, I was very shocked when he came back out for the 5th. I think it was the 5th. I was like, because he was getting just because Rangers pitch count. He never. And then when he's in the 5th, I was like, okay, they're letting him go. It was exciting to see him actually push distance a little bit.
Ricky Bo said this today in the pregame. He was talking about how the past the first year he was starting, he was started as a reliever, then he became the starter that season. That was in 21, and then in 22 he finally became a starter. But he had the visa issues during spring training, so he didn't have a full spring training. The same thing he had the World Baseball Classic, and he got hurt the elbow problem, so he didn't have a full spring training again. So maybe we're gonna get him a little deeper into games this year, having the full spring training. I really didn't think about that until he mentioned it today.
Yeah, which I understand, but Sale, I mean, I thought he was a little bit rattled once in a while. I mean, he didn't look that great. He looked very hitterish the entire time, which was great. For the Phillies, I thought they could have tacked on more runs.
He got out of the jams when he needed to. Though.
He really did.
That big play where I forget which inning, but it's where he had Schwarber grounded in a double play where they had bases loaded, no outs, where he looked like he was pretty much done and they were getting ready to knock him out of there. Yep. And he got out of it. So for as bad as he looked, he was able to work his way out of a lot of big cities, which I'm not trying to promote Chris Taylor, but he did what a 3 supposed to do.
I think he shook out the 8-9 guy, Pache and Rojas, in the second inning when they had runners on first and second or something like that.
I mean, it almost looked pretty damn great for the Phillies, and the last hitter Sale face was JT, who in 28 other ballparks would have been a go-ahead 2-run home run to left center. I sent you guys that stat that was put up on Twitter. In 28 of 30 ballparks, all except Citizens Bank Park and Camden Yards, JT's ball is a home run, and that's a go-ahead 2-run bomb. Things would have looked significantly different if that ball goes. I didn't get to see that
when I was driving, listening on the radio, so I didn't get to when all the comebacks. So you mentioned something about who was it? Bohm's ground ball. I didn't get to see that one. It really bounced over him. And I think somebody made it.
No, there was an error by Trey Turner again.
Oh, Trey Turner.
It was such I don't care when you're watching from where my angle was. I'm right behind.
Yeah,
it's literally it was a too hot, and it looked like it's just too hot, and then missed his glove. I don't want to hear that's a routine ground ball for any major league shortstop. It was so bad. So especially with the other error he had on Friday.
Yeah, what's that 2 errors now in 2 games or 2 errors in 3 games?
I think they changed the other one. I think they actually changed it to a hit. Of course they did. So I'm shocked they didn't do it today too, but
they might.
So look, and I'll let's keep going with this narrative now that's been placed with lefties, because it's something that's going to have to get talked about more. And
I don't know why it's not.
I really want the Philly media to really start hammering Thompson. That's funny because only one guy would, and that would be Howard Eskin, who's not part of the Phillies beat. But the Phillies beat is another story.
Smart reason.
Right. The Phillies, for 2 days in a row, Marsh sat against Fried and Sale. He'll be back in the lineup Monday against, I think, Andrew Abbott for the Reds. But then you have Stott, who's hit 285 against lefties since the start of last season. Again, this is, and I don't understand what is going on.
276 too for a career.
So in what world is that struggling against left-handed pitching? Honestly, he's not batting 200. He's not batting 175 against lefties. 276 to 285. You're damn near an all-star. Jay, what is going on? What is Topper using lefties as just an excuse to get other players in the game? I don't understand.
They play the lefty righty matchup too much. It just I feel like that's a lot of today baseball. Because they even Phillies crazy. The Phillies only have lefties on the bench.
Why don't you go sign Adam Duvall or Hunter Renfroe or any of these other dudes out there? We have to do with Pache. We have Pache. If you want to do that, by all means do it. But have a legit guy who could be that guy you could platoon out there, not Christian Pache.
Yeah.
I thought you said he hits lefties real well.
He hit 314 last year, so I mean,
so you got Marsh, and they just switch back and forth. So it's these guys, but I just don't get it. It makes no sense. I don't understand. I get it's nice to have the righties against it, but then once you get to the bullpen, it doesn't matter. They have lefties in the bullpen.
And it's funny, as soon as they were going to bring in, who was it? Was it Marsh or Stott today? I forget who it was.
It was Marsh. When Marsh came in the pinch hit,
immediately the Snicker goes and gets a lefty.
Yeah.
He still faces a lefty, so he could have faced lefty all day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's going to be a problem against the Braves, man. They have a lot of lefties. They have a lot of lefties.
So does Miami.
But we know in
Miami's
the
a team.
playoffs, though, Stott, like he's not benching, and I get. I think
No, you're
Stott will
right.
see
Yeah,
enough,
you're right.
so this won't happen in the playoffs. But it's just, I just
Yeah.
didn't like it today, especially with Harper missing. It's not.
And one more thing too, because they won today, so I'm not as mad as I was though. But I was thinking like, I was like looking at everything with baseball and like saw what the NL Central did. The NL Central is not a cakewalk anymore, and the Giants look pretty darn good too. So it's besides the Rockies and probably the three bottom teams in the Phillies division, every team's going to be hunting for a playoff spot this year, by the looks of it. So I don't know. You can't suck in April, May this year. You're not going to be able to sleepwalk into the playoffs like you kind of did your first year. I know you won 90 games last year, but you're still cutting it close last year. So it's like you're not going to be able to do that this year. It looks this National League looks a lot better than it has been.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're gonna see all that coming up soon. You know, the Phillies are 1-2, and the rest of all of April is completely winnable. Their next 23 games are against the Reds, Nationals, Cardinals, White Sox, Pirates, and Rockies. Their pitching staffs and lineups to me are far inferior to the Braves, obviously. So, you know, this is where we're really going to see what this Phillies team can do against inferior baseball teams.
Can't start out like you have the last 2 years against this type of competition. There's no way.
No. I will say though, because much to the chagrin of our own Johnny Mac, Kyle Schwarber looked good against lefties.
Maybe I'll talk shit on him for every single game. And it wasn't like it wasn't like I was like bashing the guy for like a mean reason. I just don't understand with the lefty thing. Like when you look at it, why Marsh and Stott and Harper are getting taken out of lineup because of a lefty. Why doesn't Schwarber get that same treatment too for a guy who statistically is much worse versus lefties than all of them?
Telling you, man, he loves him some Kyle Schwarber. He loves him.
That's the only thing I don't like. It's like he did great today. Like I'm happy that he had 2 hits today. He had a home run, scored 2 runs. Did he 2 RBIs too?
Yep. He went 2 for 4 today with 2 RBIs, a home run.
Yeah, like it was awesome. Like that's awesome, but like that's not his track record against lefties. His track record, he hits 209. Like he hits 209. Now has 44 career home runs against lefties out of 248. Like that's terrible.
I agree. So just kind of talking about also the offense a little bit. We're gonna get Bryce Harper back most likely tomorrow for the. I mean, I don't even think they're gonna play tomorrow, but I don't think they're gonna play Tuesday or Wednesday either. So I don't know what the hell they're gonna do about this.
At least off a day this week to play at least some of these games.
It's gonna be 45.
7 games this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be 45 degrees the next 3 days in Philly, and it's literally like 100% chance of rain all day.
I forget
for
who's
all
going
3.
up to Chicago, but somebody was saying that they're playing the White Sox, I believe, and there's a chance of snow this week in Chicago.
Oh my god! Yeah, this is not gonna be a great week if you're a baseball player out in the weather. But I'm gonna ask you guys the same thing. I basically was like yelling to myself when Harper went for that ball, and he ends up doing a ass over tea kettle into that dugout, man. That was did hashtag season over just flash
when he
into your
didn't
brain
move it first? Yes.
Yeah.
He looked like he stopped. Like he looked like I was like, is this dude paralyzed? Like how bad? And it looked like he was grabbing his shoulder. I was like, oh, this is not good. But it's.
I didn't watch it live though, but I watched the replay because I was only back from golfing. But
it was terrifying.
I'm like thinking there. I'm like, this is a question. Was he even close to catching the ball? Hit the net?
I don't know. That's the question, because if it didn't hit the net, he was like 5 yards because it bounced in the dirt. Yeah, like it didn't even go over the railing. So I didn't want to because Chris was having a moment. So I didn't be like, well, he missed it by 10 yards and he fell over this thing. I thought it had to have hit the
Chris was about to break his neck just because Harper broke his neck.
I would think about it. That's for damn sure. But I feel your pain, my man. Here. So here's what he said earlier today. He said Bryce Harper says he knew the railing was there. He said the railing is not the issue, but he thinks the netting played a bigger role. So there's that. All I know is
the netting's weird now. It comes out more.
It comes out. Yeah. So but again, he expects to be back in the lineup on Monday. When he wasn't in that lineup, when they announced that lineup card for today, that's kind of what set us off and thinking, wow, game 3, and they're already conceding a game just like that. And then I'm
Him,
like, wow, Stott's out of the lineup too, and Marsh. What the
I'm
hell is
more
going on?
concerned at that. I'm definitely 100% more concerned with Stott and Marsh being out. That
That was
Yeah,
what
if
actually
Harper
bothered me
was just
more.
out today, I would be like, oh, okay, he took a hard fall yesterday. Maybe he's feeling a little beat up from from
Yeah,
yesterday. They want to give him a day because it's a long season. I totally understandable. But then you see Marsh is not in the lineup once again, and then you see
Stott.
that Stott's not in the
Stott
lineup once
really
again.
pissed me off. When I didn't see Stott in that lineup, I'm thinking this is already game 3, and this is happening. So overall, this weekend, John, what were you most disappointed in? The performance, or the
No,
managing?
uh, I'm gonna say performance. I mean, I want to say managing, but I mean, no look absolutely complete dog shit. I
Yeah,
mean, even if your manager's making the wrong decisions, like
yeah,
they still got to go out there and perform too. But it's just the bats. He can't do nothing about the bats. I mean,
yeah. You
the
can't.
first you can't do anything
Yeah.
about. You can't do anything. But they can't leaving Nolan too long. Obviously, but Nolan still suck. Like, but that's really what it was.
How
But
about you, Jay?
I said the series was
Mm.
going to be 2-1. I didn't think it was going to be
Yeah, you
embarrassing
were fine.
2-1.
Yeah,
Nolan bullpen.
yeah.
It's kind of cost us. We could have really, when you look at it, we could have been out of the series 2-1 us with a win Saturday Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Blowing that Monday win and really wasting that Wheeler start. That's
Mm-hmm.
vintage Phillies. That's what we do for all of our aces. Now that he's being paid like one, he gets it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I expected though. Like it's as much disappointing it is. I'm really disappointed in Nola in the bullpen,
Yeah.
but I kind of expected to go 2-1 this weekend anyway.
Mhm.
I think we all kind of figured after this weekend our season really starts.
I mean, I guess that's a great point. I mean, I think that's something that a lot of Phillies fans are probably in the back of their mind thinking, well, the season kind of starts on Monday. We'll see, we'll see
I
on
just
April 1st.
my thing about it is like the one thing that has been like pissing me off is like, well, we beat them in the playoffs. It's a new damn year. You may beat them 2 years in a row, but they know that, and like
Yeah.
it's just, like you know what I mean. Stop bringing it up. Just
But
drop it. Like it's a new year. Go beat them again in the playoffs and beat them in the regular season too. Like prove that you are that team that should be the top of the NL East, not just beating them in the playoffs.
I agree with you, John, because I got tired of hearing that today. Like the fans, that's all they would say.
Yeah.
But this year, like that's where I think it's so big for me this season to start out this April. Because at the end of the season last year, when they did get hot, they were right there with the Braves. You can't be 20 games behind, when
Right.
you hit and get hot. So they have to start out. You can't be bad this season. You have to start out hot. You need to get, 15, 17, wins in April and really be crushing it. You gotta
I
get
agree.
hot fast.
Agreed. That's what the team's built for. You're built for it. So just a reminder, from this bullpen usage, so on Saturday, Ortiz, who's on the IL, he's hurt now. Dominguez, Junior Marte, Gregory Soto, Connor Brogdon,
He's
who I
pitching
never really.
well. Marte, he's pitching well. I mean, I like
Yeah,
what I've seen
yep.
from him.
He had a walk, but he still looked good. And then on Sunday, Hoffman, who's absolutely lights out. And he's incredible to watch sometimes. Strom, Dominguez, Soto, and then Alvarado. So if the Phillies get a day off tomorrow from rain, I'm sure that bullpen is going to be thankful for it. But regardless, like you guys said, as before we get out of here, we always like to kind of just go over and look at what is ahead for the Phillies. And what's ahead this week is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday series at home against the Cincinnati Reds, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Washington against the Nationals. So that's 7 games this week for the Phillies on the schedule. Right? No, 7. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, I think
Right.
they play Thursday night. They play Thursday too, I believe.
Actually, no, they don't
No, it
play
is only
Thursday.
6.
6
Okay, I
games this week.
misread that.
Okay, so they're off Thursday. So 6 games on the
That's the week
docket this week.
after. My
That's
fault.
right. The week I'm looking at now. Yeah, the next week is 7 games. So 6 games on the docket this week, boys. Given that they play, hopefully they play every game. What are you guys expecting record wise, John?
5-1. I think they 2-1 against the Reds, and then they should sweep the Nationals.
Jay?
Yeah, I want to see 5-1.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I feel like bare minimum you have to go 4-2. Anything less than that's disappointment. But they're better, much better than both these teams. Like I kind of expect a sweep of the week.
Nice. So you have a 6-0 week.
I do. I think they're going to get hot against these bad
Damn.
teams. if they, depending on how many games they play, can get in. But
right. If they play 3 games,
don't sleep on the Reds, man. Don't sleep.
enough
We know
with your
they're
Red shenanigans. We know you're a new
they're
Reds
your
fan.
World Series pick.
No, sleep. I mean, they could. I think they could be
We
the
get it.
Arizona Diamondbacks, but they could sneak in the playoffs and make a quick run to the World Series like the Nationals did, and like the Phillies did 2 years ago.
And next on Johnny Mac with the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz.
But yeah, so I'm with you actually, Jay. If they play 6 games, man, there's no reason they can't win all 6. Why can other teams go on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 game winning streaks? But when the Phillies play 2 teams that are inferior to them, why not? What's wrong with going 6-0?
This upcoming schedule, they better go like 25-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling.
You're feeling the greatest win streak of all time.
I'm feeling an Oakland A's type. I feel we're going for it, bro. We're hitting it.
So yeah, I'm gonna go anywhere between that 5-1, 6-0 mark of the week. Again, I don't think they're going to play every day this week, but look, stranger things have happened for sure. But we'll see what happens. We'll be back here Wednesday night following the final game of the series against the Reds, and then we'll preview, of course, what's ahead against the Nationals. And we'll be back here Sunday night to recap the entire week. As always, head over to SeatGeek.com right now. Use our code ONTHEBUMP for $20 off your very first ticket purchase. Thank you so much to SeatGeek for being a day one sponsor. I really do appreciate that. So we have someone here saying Phillies suck. I don't think it's the same Anthony either. So this is someone different. He's probably a Braves fan, I'm sure. We've been getting those a lot lately. So thank you for your comment. I appreciate that.
They did suck this week, and you're right.
Just a tremendous contribution to the show. Head over to manscaped.com right now. Use our code baseball20 for 20% off and free shipping on your order. If you guys want to follow us on the socials, at Ring the Bell 856 everywhere, including how to get to us. So no, I don't want to cuddle with you, asshole. So yeah, head over to YouTube, subscribe. We are literally right at the cusp, about 2,400 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, like, subscribe, and of course, ring the bell for notifications on when we're going live or when anything pops up on our channel. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Johnny Mac and Jason Kent. I'm Chris C. Francesco, and we'll catch you guys here Wednesday night on the stream live, as always. And thank you guys very much again. And as always, go Phils.
Go Phils.